Hi there, I'm Mark Sebastian, founder of OptionPit.com, and this is the Volatility Report. Reminder, this is for education purposes only. This should not be considered investment advice. Options have risk. Consult your financial professional. All right. So we just had non-farms come in pretty hot for ADP, and then we just had an ISM number that came in super hot, 59.8. This is the non-manufacturing, 59.8 versus 55.2, so that's a serious number. But here we are. We've got another day where the VIX is kind of getting a little bit of a bid. I think people said, you know what, maybe things are cheap enough, and we need to see, VIX get itself a little bit stabilize-y before we do anything else. It's kind of what it looks like to me. So there's definitely something going on here. What are we watching today? You got Apple. It's down to a nice buck. And, continues to kind of just flail around a little bit. We continue to see some softness in Fitbit ahead of earnings. The financials are down a touch today. Europe got smoked. Financials are down. TLT continues to soften up. And GLD, another one we are watching, is still just kind of hanging there around 121. So it's definitely lower. We're watching Wells Fargo. They just got eviscerated yesterday on the hill. And if you look, it had a nice little V bottom off of some of all that bad news. You got to think that there's going to be some mean reversion here. And that's going to be one we're watching. We're going to be watching Procter & Gamble. There's some Nelson Peltz stuff that's supposedly coming out for Procter & Gamble that he's going to be looking at. We're going to be keeping an eye on Tesla. I mean, the ability of this firm to just ignore fundamentals. They have no shot of hitting any of their production targets, and here we are buying it. It is what it is. This is why you don't fight these hard to borrow longs. You're going to lose, and that's why it's one where I'd wait for it to fall before I'd try and do anything. They have earnings coming up at the end of the month. It is earnings season, and we are watching kind of for stocks that are starting to get their earnings come in. Speaking of earnings, let's take a look at SPX. And you've got SPX, which has been really range bound, maybe near a top, looking like it wants to go higher on some of its news, but VIX, second day in a row of a little bit of ugliness. So kind of interesting in the way that is setting up. And then the VIX complex. Seems like VIX futures do not want to drop. That's usually a sign that maybe we've got, something near term lining up, something a little ugly, nothing great, that could push things around. That's kind of the best we're seeing. So those are areas that I'm kind of keeping an eye out for, areas where I'm looking for trades. One other name that definitely going to be playing with is Micron. That thing has been just on a tear. Finally coming off a little bit today. We'll see what's going on there. And we're going to continue to watch Nordstrom's, because we think that the what's going on there is a little overdone. All right, folks. Yeah, questions, you can email me, mark@optionpit.com, or call me 888-TRADE-01. Thanks.